Basso. So this Santi back with another video for you guys, man. Had to take a break. But this should be Semen Retention and the Authentic Self Part 9. But I wanted to start off this video just by saying, to love or have love, that is enough. To love or have loved, that is enough. You know, and that's one thing about going through a breakup. This feeling of a sense of inadequacy and lack, and feeling as if you're not good enough, and this desire to try to fight for what you had. The desire to try to fight for what you had and to try to get it back. Because you feel like that piece is missing. All the while, you may need to sit back and look at things differently and reassess the situation and see it for what it is and see why it's ending, Because when I got to that point where I sat back and I started looking at myself and I was assessing why I was going through what I was going through on an emotional level, and why my spirit felt the way that it did. And then sitting back and just observing how she was going to act at the end of it, and the type of choices, the type of decisions that she was going to make was going to reveal to me the content of her character and who she really was, And then in those moments, I was able to see what was better for me, what was best for myself, and as a man, And so we as men, when it comes to figuring out who we are, understanding who we are, we're going to make mistakes. And we're going to make choices that ultimately are not reflexive of who we really are authentically. And then when we see where situations may have had us stepping out of character, then we can recognize who we are and how we're going to go about carrying ourselves and the type of choices that, we're going to make. The things that we, how we're going to assert ourselves, how we're going to establish boundaries, how we're going to communicate and express our truth, Because my ex, she couldn't understand why I didn't want to maintain a friendship with her, why I wouldn't want to maintain a relationship with her, And so, had things ended differently between us, and I hold myself accountable and my only fault was not, I shouldn't have been trying to force her to go against her decision in regards to the breakup. Now, this is like back in 2010, but I cut her off in like 2011 because I started to see things clearly and I saw her for who she was. But she couldn't understand why I wouldn't want to have anything to do with her, and it was based off principles. It was based off the fact that how she went about things, she disrespected who I was. She disrespected my masculinity. She disrespected who I was as a man, And so in honor of myself and recognizing how I was giving her too much leniency, I gave her too many passes, I kept giving her the right to disrespect me, Once I realized that, I was like, dang, it's almost like I had to make up for that, I had to make up for that. It's like, dang, no, we can't have anything, because if you loved me and you respected me for who I was, you wouldn't have acted the way that you did. Even if the relationship wasn't working out, there's still a certain level of respect that you show a person. You know what I'm saying? I could see if I had cheated, or if I was abusive, you know what I'm saying? Verbally, physically, but I wasn't those things. That's not who I am. That's not how I carry myself. You know what I'm saying? So, that's something that I had to explain to my brother. When he was going through his breakup, I had to let him know. I was like, look, man, she's manipulated. She's manipulated you. and she manipulated you before the breakup. You know what I'm saying? And even though you may have made your mistakes, we're talking about you looking at the choice that she made and you seeing her for who she is, because this is a two-way street. And when a relationship falls apart, both individuals need to be held accountable. You know what I'm saying? And one individual at the same time may need to be held more accountable than the other. But the difference between me and my ex is that she didn't do the work. She didn't look at herself. You know what I'm saying? And as long as I was gonna be there trying to get back with her, trying to force a relationship, she was never going to see her faults within the situation. It was going to justify her reasons for treating me like shit. Because as long as I was forgiving her and making it seem like she was without fault, she would have felt like she didn't do anything wrong. Because my actions and me pushing and me acting, being so aggressive and me trying to push this shit, you know what I'm saying? Me trying to force it and calling her and texting her all the time was only going to make me look bad. You know what I'm saying? It was only going to justify her reasons. So, and, that's the thing. It's like, when I was going through my experience, I sat back, you know what I'm saying? And I had to be comfortable with her being gone. I had to accept that she was going to be gone. You know what I'm saying? But the only way that you can accept that is by being complete and accepting yourself. It's like being at peace with your own self. I had to be at peace with the emotions that I felt in regards to her. And then once I sat there and I put things in their proper place, how I felt about her, how I viewed her decisions, and how she interacted with me, I just aligned with myself in that moment. I was like, okay, I'm going to make the decision. And whatever comes from it, it got to a point where it wasn't about her anymore. Like it wasn't about her anymore. It wasn't about how she felt about me. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't about her trying to understand why trying to get her to understand where I was coming from. I said what I needed to say. I got it off my chest and then I kept it moving. You know what I'm saying? And then it shifted as it's like she ended the relationship, but because I wasn't entertaining her no more, I wasn't texting her, I wasn't calling her, I changed my number. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like I was breaking up with her. You know what I'm saying? Because who you are authentically, man, it's not, you're not meant to be the same as somebody else. You know what I'm saying? What's right for you is what's right for you based off of your self-understanding. But there's a level of work and awareness that is required for you to get to that point. You know what I'm saying? And so recognizing the end of that relationship, I was like, bro, I'm under no obligation to text her, call her, be her friend. I'm not obligated to do shit in regards to her. There is no obligation. When you break up, when a relationship ends, you don't have to reach out to that person. You don't even have to care anymore. And if you do care, that should be something that comes from you and you alone. You know what I'm saying? But you shouldn't be going out of your way to try to prove to somebody where you stand. You know what I'm saying? Because in all of that, in all of those actions, and you doing all of that, you're hurting yourself in the long run. And that's why I was just like, to love or have loved, that is enough. You know what I'm saying? For you to be able to have given yourself to someone and to have had that experience, you know what I'm saying? That's enough. You know what I'm saying? That's enough for you. When you sit back and you reassess things and then you start to make those changes and you start gaining knowledge and you start stepping outside of your comfort zone and you're evolving, that situation was enough. There ain't no point in dwelling in it, going back to it once you've learned what you needed to learn. You know? Because me being the type of person where it's like, all right, I've had a relationship with this person for so long and now I'm seeing certain things that I just can't agree with. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I'm done with you. I'm gonna end the relationship and not worry about the outcome. You can feel how you feel about me, but as long as I know where I stand and how I feel about the situation, and I've sat and I've deliberated and I've thought about it and I meditated on it, then I made the decision that was right for me. You know? And she really couldn't understand that. She even told me that she couldn't cope with somebody not wanting to have anything to do with her. But I wasn't finna be another one of your exes that you was cool that you can hit up anytime. You can cast off to the side and now you finna go on to your next best thing. But you want to keep those exes because of gratification, because they give you a sense of self. No, fuck that. Fuck that. Don't let a woman drag you along, manipulate you and play games with you. You know what I'm saying? Because they say that men, women will be like, men, that's all men do, but women do the same shit. So I don't want to hear that shit. And can't no woman make you into a man. They can help you become a better person. But when it comes to your own masculinity, you have to understand that for yourself. If it's not coming from another man, then it must come from you. You know? This is going to be one of our longer videos. You know what I'm saying? Because we'll hear women complaining about, you know what I'm saying? You'll hear women complaining about, women are going to complain about men. But me as a black man, as an indigenous person, you know what I'm saying? I'm Caribbean, Caribe, you know what I'm saying? I be on social media and I be seeing black women complain about black men and what they're not doing. But I see a lot of black men out here doing for their families. You know what I'm saying? Trying to work to build a better community. But you don't hear a lot about it because of the constant negative portrayal of us. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes to a man's masculinity, you have to come to understand your own nature, your true nature. You know, because to be masculine, to embody that masculine energy, you rule and you regulate yourself. It's not necessarily you ruling over somebody else, but only to the degree that you can lead yourself can you dictate the things that's going on around you from righteous judgment. You know what I'm saying? So women will complain about what men doing, but they can't even set an example for men. You know what I'm saying? You can't look to a woman for masculine to understand the masculine principle. You have to look to another man because we're dominant in that energy. That's our energy. If you identify yourself as a heterosexual, man, a straight man, you know what I'm saying? So we can only look to other men to help guide us. Now, some women, they can understand that masculinity shows itself in different ways, and not every man shows his masculinity the same way. You know what I'm saying? But you should be striving to be authentic, to be aligned with yourself. You know what I'm saying? And so yeah, man, like seeing women complain about what a man is not doing. You should be working to better yourself and to get out and to step outside of that negative portrayal that they have on men, that we don't have no type of self-control. We're always chasing women. You know what I'm saying? We're nothing but dogs. You know what I'm saying? Or we don't know how to control our emotions. We don't know how to communicate. You know what I'm saying? We don't know how to do this and we don't know how to do that. We need to start setting that example so they'll shut the fuck up. They're always going to be talking regardless. But then it's just like, don't let women come to you and just talk to you any kind of way and make it seem like they know what it means to be a man when they fucking don't. You don't know. So shut the fuck up. Complaining. All they do is get on social media and complain and complain and complain. And sometimes I'm sitting over there like, shut the fuck up. Shut up. You are not providing no solutions. All you're doing is attacking. You're just attacking. You can't tell me what men need to do is be aligned with themselves. Period. Know who you are. Know who you are. And be your true self. Understand your true nature. Because your true nature ain't chasing women. It's not chasing women. It ain't being dictated or ruled by women. Not letting let no woman tell you, oh, you should just be with one woman. A real man only be one. You don't know what a real man is. Because and then when you do, you don't even know how to take that energy. They don't know how to take that energy. So yeah. Your authentic self, man. Be authentic, man. Be real, be raw. This ain't just watching YouTube videos, man. You need to study and gain knowledge. You need to do your research. Sitting watching YouTube videos all day. Study some articles, read some books, get out into the world, exceed limitations. Study, try to understand other cultures and things like this. And stop regurgitating that bullshit. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm gonna have more videos for you guys, man. Like, share, comment, subscribe, and I'll holler back at you guys. Love, salute.